we are asked to solve the given quadratic equation by completing the square. The first step is to write the equation in this form here, which means the first step is to subtract 5 on both sides. If we subtract 5 on both sides, we can write the equation as 2x squared plus 7x plus some constant we'll find in step 3 equals negative 5 plus the same constant we added to the left. Step 2, if a, the coefficient of x squared, is not 1, we divide both sides of the equation by a. Notice here a is 2, and therefore we divide both sides by 2, or divide each term by 2. Simplifying, we now have x squared plus 7 halves x plus some constant equals negative 5 halves plus some constant. And now we are going to make the left side of the equation a perfect square trinomial by adding the square of b divided by 2, or adding the square of 1/2 b to both sides of the equation. And this b is referring to the coefficient of x in this form here, which is 7 halves. And because we have a fraction, let's use the formula of the square of 1/2 b. So we have the square of 1/2 times 7 halves, which is equal to the square of 7/4, which equals 49/16. So now we add 49/16 to both sides of the equation. Again, this will make the left side a perfect square trinomial. So step 4 is to factor the left side, which again is now a perfect square trinomial. Let's go ahead and show some work. This does factor into two binomial factors. Because the first term is x squared, we have an x here and an x here. Because the leading coefficient is 1, we now find the factors of 49/16 that add to 7 halves, which is not an easy question normally, but the two factors we are looking for are the two factors we multiplied to get 49/16, which was 7/4 times 7/4. And again, we know 7/4 times itself is equal to 49/16. Let's just check to make sure the sum is 7 halves. So 7/4 plus 7/4 is equal to 14/4, which does simplify to 7 halves, which means both binomial factors are x plus 7/4, which is why we have a perfect square trinomial. We can write this as the quantity x plus 7/4 squared. Now on the right side we need to find this sum here. We have negative 5 halves plus 49/16. The LCD is 16, and therefore we multiply the numerator and denominator of negative 5 halves by 8 to obtain the least common denominator. Notice now we have negative 40/16 plus 49/16, which is equal to 9/16. So the right side simplifies to 9/16. And now the last step is to square root both sides of the equation to solve for x. And to make sure we get both solutions, we include a plus or minus on the right. Square rooting the left undoes the squaring, and we're left with x plus 7/4. On the right, we have plus or minus a square root of 9/16. 9 is a perfect square, and so is 16. This simplifies perfectly to plus or minus 3/4. And now to solve for x, we subtract 7/4 on both sides, which gives us x equals negative 7/4 plus or minus 3/4. And now to find the two solutions, we need to find this sum and difference. So one solution is x equals negative 7/4 plus 3/4, which is equal to negative 4/4, which equals negative 1. The other solution is x equals negative 7/4 minus 3/4, which is equal to negative 10/4, which simplifies to negative 5 halves. So our solutions are x equals negative 5 halves or x equals negative 1. Notice how these solutions are real and rational, which means we could have solved the original equation by factoring, but we were told to use the method of completing the square. I hope you found this helpful.